Hey, welcome back to my FTL ship coloring tutorials. So last time it was just a bit of a brief introduction and kind of what images you need. And this time, just going to be a short one, but we're going to focus on how to make the cloak image and how to make the shield, or color the shield. The shield is really just let's start with that one. The shield is really just an ellipsis. So if we go to canvas, fit to layers, then you can see the whole shield or the image. And there's not really anything special to it. The default one has a hatch pattern on it of honeycombs. Um, to be honest, I don't really play around with these very much. You can transform them. Ooh, where is it? So if you can't find something in the tool options, you can always go to Tools, Transform, and probably handle transform. So we put one handle at one point and one at another, and then you can adjust the shape of it. You can create some odd artifacts by doing the handle transform, and to be honest, I quite like them. But yeah, that's a cool way to transform it. But that's not really what we're doing. So just undo that. Best way to color it, it's got a nice level of transparency. So, or simplest way to begin to color it, colors, colorize, and then you can select the color. And it's entirely up to you. But really, again, you're just limited by ideas you can come up with yourself. So we could do that. That looks all right. Um, or we go to gradient again. Where's tool? There it is. Tool options. I'm going to add a layer. Uh, Gradient. Then we'll just color the whole thing in a gradient. And I'm just pressing enter to close that. There is an instant mode, which it automatically puts across. But if you want to adjust the gradient, you need to have it deselected. So I'm going to move that below the shield image. Then I'm going to right click and alpha to selection. Then select the invert and cut away the invert. Oh, you know what? I've done that wrong. Undo. We want the shield alpha. Alpha to selection, Control I, and move to the gradient, then Control X. And then Shift A to remove all thing. And then we've got a gradient on it as well, which is pretty nifty. So yeah, if you want to start this from scratch, just draw an ellipsis and then cut it out. And then if you want some extra stuff in there, you can add it. But personally, I don't spend a lot of time on shields. I do like spending time on cloaking images though. So here's our cloak image. So again, you can go to colors and colorize. And change it up. I mean, that looks pretty cool, right? But I'll also show you how I create the cloak image from scratch. Because if you've got a custom hull, then you can't obviously use the one that exists already. So other people's techniques may vary, and just do whatever you want. This is just how I do it. So I've got a new layer that says cloak, and what I want is the outline of the ship. So if we look at our Castrol, we've got the outline essentially in black. So if I use color select, which hotkey is Shift O, and then select a piece of black, that should select all the black in the image. and then I'm going to copy and paste that, Control C, into the cloak layer, Control V. I'm going to anchor it, and then let's just check we've got it. Yeah. So now we've got one layer. My cloak images tend to be made up of 3 for the simpler ones, and you can do it as many layers as you want. So let's pick a palette. No, we're in EGA, and that's kind of an interesting palette, so let's use that. So let's have it all the same color. We'll pick this. So I'm going to select all the black, alpha selection. Then I'm going to use the bucket fill to fill that whole selection and fill whole selection. Then I'm going to deselect with Control Shift A, and we've got that nice color. So I'm going to duplicate this image twice. 1, 2. So what I'm going to do here is add a Gaussian blur. So if we go to Filters, Blur, Gaussian, and I'm going to expand this. So I tend to do a 4.5 and a 1.5, and I'll show you what that looks like. So that's my 4.5 Gaussian blur, and then we'll add this, Filters, Blur, Gaussian, 1.5. And I'd be quite happy with that as the cloak image. So that's the one where we just colorize it, and that's the one that I tend to do. You can expand these figures out really. They don't have to be those. So again, filters, blur, Gaussian, was 1.5, but you can make it a bit bigger. And saying that was 4.5, you can make that a bit bigger. But it's entirely up to you. These don't have to be the same colors, and you can have different effects across them as well. So yeah, you can really play with whatever you like. Okay, so it's just a short one, but that's how to do the shield and the cloak images. So hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye.